A lot of fans forget that Vince is a former WWE champion, and I guess because
Crazy. I've never seen a promoter make themselves a champion besides Vince McMahon.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
What up, it's Majay back here with another video, and we're about to be reacting to a video by Pelana. And the video is going to be on literally the most pointless WWE title reigns. Ah, man. I guess this video sparked a topic on it because of Sami Zayn. Man, we already like feared that he was gonna lose the championship, but like 9 days, you barely even really gave this dude a whole celebration, bro. Like, it really just proves that like y'all just like giving people the championship for nothing, bro. Like 24 years, bro. It kind of rung in my head when they gave it, when he like said that whole thing, and then it just ended up with a sour ass note. I was happy and shocked when he actually, you know, captured the title. I didn't go into that thinking he was actually gonna win, because it's just like any other thing. We thought like Cody Rhodes is gonna retain or somebody was gonna interfere. It's just like other WWE tropes. But let's see what on this list, who other people that he have, for an example. Might recognize some of them, or, you know, some of these refresher in my head. But let's get into it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe on WWE videos, and let's get it.
A WWE title reign should in theory be a highlight of a pro wrestler's career. However, over the years, certain WWE title reigns have resulted in some of their worst booking ever as a WWE talent. And why does this happen? Is it a case of WWE giving up on the talent, or is it a case of WWE giving a popular...
Damn, he mentioned Jack Swagger. I always mention that all the time. They literally pulled the trigger on him and then like took the title off him quick.
Name a pitiful reign with their top prize. Who knows? But with that said, here are 10 times wrestlers won the WWE title for no reason. Number 10, Rey Mysterio. The Summer of Punk is a beloved time period for a lot of fans, but one of the more questionable storylines revolved around Rey Mysterio. Following CM Punk leaving WWE in kayfabe after Money in the Bank, Mysterio would win the WWE title on Raw, and in a unique move, he would face John Cena on the same exact night. The scene of John Cena...
Oh my god, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If I hated John one point in my life, at like kind of kayfabe and like in the, well, as a character, I hated him for this. I'm sorry, bro. I just could not deal with it, because like Rey Mysterio winning the title, not 45 minutes later, this nigga comes back there. Oh, I need to face you. I need to take the championship off you. Like, bro, what was the need of him needing to win that? I'm pretty sure it was Vince McMahon's idea, just to take the championship off him and put the title back on him. This proves like back in 2006, they only saw like Rey Mysterio as some sort of anchor toward, you know, Eddie Guerrero at the time.
And Mysterio engaging in an infamous confrontation backstage has since turned into a meme, and for good reason, as this was the height of the Super Cena character. Rey wouldn't even make it out of the same show as champion, as John Cena would pin Mysterio clean as a whistle.
Jesus.
And this would ultimately be used to set up the return of Punk ahead of CM Punk and Cena's rematch for the main event of SummerSlam. Number 9, Jack Swagger. Fans were in total
I mean, I get it. It was all good and well time because I like the Summer of Punk and I like the whole storyline, but like, why did it have to be used at like Rey Mysterio's expense? And this is kind of parallels because CM Punk literally did the same thing literally now.
Disbelief when WWE decided to give Jack Swagger the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania 26. Swagger was perhaps the least popular name in the entire match, and it was hard to find a single fan that wanted him to become the world champion. Nevertheless, WWE would commit to a Swagger Money in the Bank win, and they would wait a matter of days before he successfully cashed in the briefcase on Chris Jericho on SmackDown. Fans had a tough time accepting Swagger in the main event role, as he had a lack of character development and he simply wasn't getting the crowd responses circumstances that warranted a major world title win. Soon enough, the WWE lost all faith in Swagger, and this was apparent when they couldn't even book him to defeat Big Show on pay-per-view, instead opting for a DQ finish. By the time the summer of 2010 came around, the WWE had officially given up on the Swagger experiment, and Swagger's first and only world title reign would come to an underwhelming fatal 4-way matchup. Number 8, Christian.
Man. Hey man, I'm not gonna go on ahead. I don't have I don't want to disrespect Jack Swagger in any type of way, but he was just bland. He was just bland as a character, bro. He came in just with no personality, nothing to connect to, bro. And I don't know, they probably should have gave him a manager back then. I don't know if that would probably work, bro. Shit, wait. They did give him a manager back in 2016 and 2013. And only gimmick he had was the We the People shit. And after that, it was just back to being bland. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one.
Christian's first world title win in 2011 was a blessing and a curse for the wrestling legend. While the reign lasted a matter of days, as WWE had no interest in him having a reign as champion, and it's been heavily theorized that Vince McMahon was never a fan of the Captain Charisma, it did result in one of the best feuds of the PG era, and the WWE clearly had no idea that the feud between Christian and Randy Orton would take off the way it did. Their pay-per-view matches were outstanding, so much so that Orton still cites them as the best in-ring work of his entire run with WWE. The first reign itself was indeed a waste of time, but it did result in the epic feud being born, and thankfully Christian would get a second but brief run as the world champion in the summer of 2011. At the end of the day, I really think he deserved a much longer title reign when he did win the championship.
Yeah, after he not being in the spotlight for a long time, bro, you at least give him a many more month title run at least, bro. Christian didn't deserve that, bro. Christian was a legendary ass wrestler with a lot of good moves, and I'm pretty sure I learned in my other videos, it was just because Vince McMahon didn't like Christian's face. That was it. He called him an ugly guy. What? Bro, you pushed a ton of ugly guys in the past, and that worked out for them. I just don't get the mentality of McMahon at times.
Number 7, Kane. Kane shocked the world in 1998 when he defeated WWE's Golden Boy Stone Cold Steve Austin to win the WWE title. He won the title in a first blood match, and it's been heavily rumored for years that WWE went down this route as they had no choice. During this point in time, Kane's entire body was covered up, so unless he was going to be unmasked in some capacity, the WWE had booked themselves into a corner. His first reign would last just 24 hours, as he would drop the title straight back to Austin the next night on Raw. The reign was indeed a waste, as fans were legitimately pushing for Kane to receive a reign, but when WWE saw a substantial rating for the WWE title match on Raw, they no doubt realized they made the right call. Number 6, Daniel Bryan.
Wow.
WrestleMania 30 featured one of the greatest moments in WWE history, as Daniel Bryan won the WWE World title in the main event, and this was supposed to lead to an epic reign for Bryan before ultimately dropping the title to Brock Lesnar at that year's SummerSlam show. But a devastating neck injury would change all these plans. Bryan would only have one title match before having to relinquish the belt, and one of the most disappointing things about the reign ending was that WWE instantly reverted back to the status quo. They would decide to go with John Cena as the new champion once again, which was perhaps the most underwhelming option WWE had on the table at the time.
Honestly, they shouldn't have did this, bro. I don't know. They didn't build enough stars up at that moment, and then they just reverted to this. Dude, honestly, around this time, people were really getting tired of Cena, bro. We seen the same shtick since 2008, when that Super Cena character started, bro. We get it, bro. I was always as a kid, I was happy to see Cena as a champion. I didn't really understand the technicality of it, but when I'm growing up, when I grew up, and I realized what goes on behind the scenes and what stars could have been huge. They could have pivoted and made some new stars, but they don't like to take a chance. Well, that was just back then, but even this regime is kind of still seeming the same with Triple H, sucking off Roman all the time.
it was a sad and pointless reign because the injury forced it to end so soon. Number 5, Finn Balor. The WWE's call to crown Finn Balor as the inaugural Universal Champion was a welcomed one. Finn Balor was insanely fresh in the main event scene, having only just been called up to the main roster, and he was able to bring it in that ring as he would establish himself as one of the best in-ring workers in the entire company. Sadly, during Balor's big crowning match at the 2016 SummerSlam, he suffered a brutal injury that would cut his reign short. Balor would be forced to give up that title on the next night on Raw, and unfortunately, he never got another run as a world champion in the company in any capacity. Number 4.
That's just a that was just a mockery, bro. That he should have at least got like another title run after that. That whole thing wasn't even his fault, bro. It was just I'm gonna just stop blaming Seth Rollins for it. I know the move or whatever injured him, but I just need to stop trying to blame Seth Rollins for that. Shit happens. Shit happens in a WWE match. And you can't really expect that, but it's just what they do after that just kind of pisses me off, bro. They don't see, they try to not to see a star as like a top tier talent back then because he got injured, because everybody gets injured. But when like your top guys like John Cena, Randy Orton, everybody else got injured, like you continue to just stuff them down people's throats. And I kind of didn't like that.
Vince McMahon. A lot of fans forget that Vince is a former WWE champion, and I guess because people want to forget, but in 1999, McMahon would defeat Triple H on SmackDown to become the champion, and the idea was that this would further the storyline between the two, as well as further the tension between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin, as Austin assisted McMahon in winning the title. This was a move straight out of WCW, as McMahon wasn't exactly an active wrestler, and it questioned at the time whether this had impacted the credibility and legitimacy of the WWE's top prize. WWE managed to get away with it thanks to McMahon being a prominent character on TV and due to the fact that he quickly gave up the title on Raw. Number 3, Batista.
That I've never seen a promoter make themselves a champion besides Vince McMahon. That's crazy.
Chris Jericho was on the run of his career in late 2008, so the decision for him to drop the world title to Batista at Cyber Sunday made zero sense. Batista did not need another title reign, and the fact that he would drop the title back to Jericho only a week later made the entire thing even more pointless. The WWE's master plan was to have Chris Jericho drop the title to a returning John Cena at Survivor Series, yet they decided to throw this Batista reign in the middle of it for shock value and shock value alone. Number 2, Hulk Hogan. WWE lost their minds when it came to the WWE title in 2002. The WWE title in the space of a matter of months went from Chris Jericho to Triple H to Hulk Hogan to The Undertaker to The Rock. They could not decide what they wanted to do at the top of the card, and Hogan's reign was the one that made little sense and served no purpose in the grand scheme of things. His title win from Triple H was a last-minute pivot to Hogan's insanely positive reaction at WrestleMania 18, and once
wow, bro, him beating Triple H is just a fever dream. I already let my thoughts be known. Like, this was not needed. I don't care if bro got a big ass pop at WrestleMania, bro. It's just the thought of Vince McMahon actually thinking Hulk Hogan could still run wild in that day and age after it was just tired still.
Hogan was champion, they were looking for ways to get the belt back off of him as quickly as possible. At the next pay-per-view, Hogan would drop the title in an atrocious match with The Undertaker, marking the end of his final world title run in the company. This was a case of WWE acting with the impulse rather than logic, and the common consensus at the time, and even nowadays, is that they should have not given him the title and it should have stayed on Triple H. Number 1, Sami Zayn. Heading into the 2026 Night of Champions pay-per-view, nobody could have anticipated Sami winning the championship. It was all but guaranteed that Cody Rhodes would retain the title, but WWE decided to do a title change to shock the fans, and unfortunately, Sami's reign would only last a lousy 9 days, and there are now question marks surrounding the title reign, with it being reported that WWE does.
And I absolutely do not like that they pushed Adam Pearce to just like shit all over bro's celebration and saying he's gonna defend it next week. Like, that's kind of fucked up, bro. I really why they do that to this man, bro? They did not have to do that to Sami, bro.
not see Zayn as a money player for the company, and this report was from Dave Meltzer, and if it's accurate, it suggests that WWE put their top prize on a name that they don't see as a draw or top star, and then they quickly decided to give him one of the shortest title reigns in WWE history, and it just makes no sense whatsoever. A lot of the booking approach in 2026 feels like it's been done for shock value, and the WWE had no long-term plans for Zayn as champion, and Triple H is simply booking shows and PLEs on what will warrant reactions, whether that being positive or negative. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy, please.
Oh my gosh. What's kind of crazy is that Triple H always like wants to be ahead of the curve and, you know, try to, you know, surprise people and, you know, surprise people on the damn stage of trying to surprise people on the stage of just shock value, and that never really fucking works. At least in my perspective, that just never works. I really hate that he just thinks that will work. And then other fucking things about it is I just really hate that they gave these people short title reigns. It was just not needed. Like the one with Hulk Hogan, not needed. And then unfortunate stuff happened on this list of him mentioning this, and it's just Finn Balor just kind of like, you know, not being injured and them not taking a chance on him, bro. But I overall think my number one pick was just like still Rey Mysterio, bro. Sammy at least got to hold it for like 9 days. Bro held it for 45 minutes, but I know it was a great story came out of it, but after that I just feel it should not have been at the expense of Rey Mysterio, bro. Just for y'all to do some sort of shock ass win. I hate when WWE does some shock ass win now, because I ultimately think there's some motive behind it now. But hey, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Go subscribe to Pilana, and the video will be linked below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We are on the road to 850. Catch you guys in the next video.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?